Yo, what's happening? Today, I want to talk to you guys, mainly you guys that think that giving money to your children is raising them. Like, for these dudes who having all these children by all these different women, and they think that because they're supporting their child financially, that they are raising their child. Like, if your child doesn't live in your house, then you're already at a disadvantage. So number one, that's the biggest disadvantage, because children learn by looking. Sure, they learn by hearing stuff and stuff too. They learn by that, but their main source of learning is by watching. If your sons can't see the way you move in your house, if your daughters can't see the way you move in your house, then they're not picking that up. They're not understanding how a man moves around the house. They're not understanding how a man speaks in the house. They're not understanding how a man does whatever he does. If they're living with their mother, all they're seeing is feminine energy walk around the house all day. All day, every day. All they're seeing is women. That's not good for the son. That's not good for the daughter. They need to see both sides. They need to see the full dynamic. Because these kids are growing up, they're not understanding what a man looks like in the house. They've seen feminine energy run the house their whole life. So to them, that's what it looks like. That's what a household looks like. So when a man comes in, a real man comes in, and he's doing what real men do, it's a problem, because that's not how it goes. You see? That's number one. So if you're just having these kids and they ain't living with you, you at a disadvantage. Because one, like I just said, they're not learning the way they're supposed to learn about how men and women interact in their, in how this is supposed to go. Two, if they're not living with you, you're not spending the amount of time. How are you supposed to help your child? To me, there are 5 aspects that, like, main aspects, obviously more than that, but the main aspects that's going to help you raise a child. There are 5 things. First thing is training. Your job as the father and mother, any parent, is to train the child. So when something happens or something needs to happen, your job is to teach them how to do that. If they have to, because when they become an adult, they're gonna have to do this stuff for themselves. When they're a kid, obviously you're gonna be doing this stuff. But when they become an adult, they have to know how to do this stuff. So if they need to go to the dentist, they need to know how to go to a dentist, fill out the paperwork, know what to bring, social security card, birth certificate, whatever they need. They need to know this stuff before they get there. When it comes to filing taxes, they need to know, okay, what is a tax? Okay, why do we need to file them? How do we file them? What is a standard deduction? All this stuff, you need to train them. They need to have this knowledge before they get out there. How are you supposed to train your kids if they're in a whole nother state? You can't train them like that. That's number one, training. Number 2, you need to guide them. Your children are living a life. They're growing up, they're living. As they're growing up and living, they need guidance, because they are going to be faced with decisions every single day that they're going to have to choose from. You are the guiding light for them. You have to be able to, when they come home from school and they had a bad day, you need to be able to understand, why did you have a bad day? And this is how you handle that situation. You see, you're guiding them. You're not forcing them to do anything, but you're giving them the way to move. You see, that's guidance. That's different from training. Training is teaching them how to live, how to, this is the stuff you're going to have to do. This is going to happen. You're going to have to do this. You train them for that. You guide them for decision making. You're guiding their decision making so that they can live for as long as as long as their life is going to allow them. They don't make bad decisions. That's what guidance is. You're guiding them to help them make better decision making. How are you going to guide your children if you're not there to see what they're going through? If you're not there, if they live in a different state, they come home from school, how do you know they had a bad day today? 9 times out of 10, a lot of times, the mother is not about to call you and say, hey, they had a bad day, you need to talk to them. You're out of the loop. You're not helping your child. Their child doesn't have any respect for you because you're not there helping them through a situation. If you help your child through a situation, they automatically gain respect for you. Dad knew what to do in this situation. You see what I'm saying? So that's that. Third thing, discipline. Make sure that you are disciplining your child. How are you supposed to discipline a child that you don't see? You can't just come over there and try to discipline that child. Child not gonna do nothing but get mad at you. There ain't no discipline. He not listening to you. You don't be here. The reason he got into this whole thing in the first place was because you weren't here to guide him away from making that decision. So now you trying to come in when the aftermath happens and you trying to do something about it. Boy, if you don't get out of here, that ain't gonna work. This kid's not in your house. He don't know nothing. He don't barely know. He barely see you every summer. What that's supposed to do? You only give him a guidance for a summer. Summertime, he out and about. School is where all the stuff happening at. You ain't there during them months. You see what I'm saying? How are you supposed to discipline a child that you don't know like that? You don't see this child you don't know what's going on with this child for real. You may know the situation, but you don't know the child. You ain't there. You ain't there long enough to know the child. You see what I'm saying? Discipline. And then when it comes to discipline, there's another side. This is number 4, which is restraint. Restraint when it comes to discipline, so you don't abuse the child. Restraint when it comes to guidance, so you don't try to, give too much. The children need to learn. They have to go. They have to make their decision. So you can't force them into a decision. You have to give them information and let them make the decision. And now you have to demonstrate restraint, because if it's a really bad decision that they could possibly make, you're going to try to force them to do something. And that is not what you want to do. You do not want to incite anger in the child. That's when they stop listening to you. When you anger anybody, this is not just the children, this is just anybody. Once somebody gets mad at you, they're not listening to you anymore. You see? So once you're trying to force them into something, you're going to anger the child, especially if you ain't there. Now they're like, dog, you don't even be here. You don't even know what be going on here. You can't tell me what happened yesterday. You can't tell me what I ate yesterday. You can't tell me, you know what I'm saying? You probably can't even tell me what classes I'm taking this semester. So, you angering them. Now they thinking about all the times you wasn't there when they needed you before. So restraint. You need to understand restraint. You need to understand when is the correct time for me to say something to this child to help them. Because once you give them information, it's up to them to make their decision, what they're going to do. But if you're not there to even give them the information, you see what I'm saying? Number 5 is conversing. Just having a conversation with your child. How often do you talk to your children? How often is that? It's probably not every day if they don't live with you. You can't, you're not going to remember to call them every single day. And sometimes you're just not going to be able to call them every single day. If they in the house, once you walk in, you're going to say, hey, how you doing? How was school today? They're there. It's just, you walk into the bedroom having a conversation with your kid. You see what I'm saying? So, conversing with your children, they need to have that two-way communication with them. They need to understand that you there and you really care about them. You really, hey, yeah, I'm here. I see you. What's going on? You good? You had a good day? Everything good? You need a hug? You need some wisdom? What's up? What you trying to eat? That's how you discover their likes. That's how you know your child, by conversing with them. That's how you know your child. So those 5 things are like main staples. I'm pretty sure there are more you can come up with. If you think of any more, comments, get down there. But that's 5 main staples of raising a child. And guess what? Every one of those staples really require them to be in the house with you. You could probably do them distant, but for real, if you really trying to get the best out of your child, and you really trying to get them raised the way you want them raised, they need to be there with you. And you're not going to get that. You're not going to raise your child the way you want them to be raised by not being there, by having a whole lot of children. How are you going to do all 5 of these things, plus whatever else is in the comments by, you lovely viewers? How are you supposed to do all this if you got children in 3 different states? There's no way you're going to do this to the extent you need to do it if you got children everywhere. You see? So, understand what I'm saying here, man. Sure, financially supporting your child, financially having them, they got the newest clothes, newest shoes, all that's great. All that's cool. When it comes down to life for a human is based on interactions. It's based on interactions. Without being able to be social creatures, life would not be the same. People would be insane, walking around crazy. That social interaction is needed both ways. They need to talk and they need to receive words, interactions, body language, all of that. They need to, that's just how we are as humans. Every human being wants to be loved. Every human being wants to be loved. Whenever human beings do anything, the end result is some type to get some sort of interaction of love from some other person. And when I said I don't mean romantic love, I mean you want people to like you. You want to be able to go and speak to people, have people talk back to you. Some people want that more than others. Some people are introverts. You still need that. I don't care if you're introvert. If you're an introvert, you have your homie. You have your road dog. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 1 or 2 people. You have them too that you on the phone or you pulling up. And that's the people you lay it on. That social interaction that you need, that's the people that get it. That's the people that give it to you. You're getting social interaction. You just don't want as much as other people want. Other people may want to meet a whole lot of people. It's just, it is what it is. Everybody want to be loved. I'll make a video about that too. That's what it is, man. Especially when it comes to relationships. Like, why you think everybody's trying to get a relationship? Everybody wants a relationship. The problem is, it's so duplicitous nowadays with people. The whole dynamic is messed up. Everybody's so scared of getting hurt that they gonna hurt the other person first. It's just all like nobody wants to try to have true love no more because they know they feel that the other person is not going to be honest. They're not going to stick with it because of the society that we're in, where it's cool, where everybody just do whatever they want, sleep with whoever they want. And that's cool now. That's what's cool now. So how you expect this, this female or this dude to rock with you when you know that this dude is in this society or this female is in this society? Like nobody wants to be honest because they feel like the other person's not being honest. But that's a whole different video, man. I'm gonna get into that one day, if I remember. But that's it, man. When it comes to your kids, man, just understand that money does not raise your child. Having your child in the newest stuff is not raising your child. It's an aspect. Yes, it will probably help their self-esteem or whatever, but that's not you. Showing them true love is what's going to help raise your child. That's what makes them respect you. They know that this person really loves me. They not gonna tell me nothing that's gonna hurt me. They've always been there every time I had an issue, a real issue that I really felt was real. They were there to help guide me through that. They let me make my own mistakes. They and they help me, help me clean them up when I do it. That just is what it is, man. So, dog, if you already have all these children, my thing is to say your best bet is to try to instill as much of those 5 things as you can into your regimen, into your program, your daily program. If you haven't, and you thought that didn't think about it, like I just gonna, have kids whenever I had kids, and you was gonna be the one doing that, spreading your seed everywhere. Think about this. Think about this. If you care about your legacy at all, if you care about your children at all, think about this and understand how you should move, man. That's it for me. I'm going to catch y'all later. Peace.